Okay, so I'm in the cockpit of an airplane flying at 30,000 feet, heading for the Caribbean. But which island is our destination? Here's a few clues. About 16 miles long by 7 miles wide, its Main Ridge Forest Reserve has been protected since 1766. Most of the place names are English towns, the capital being Scarborough. A delightful blend of nature, whether your preference is above or below the ocean, and home to some of the most pleasant, gentle people it has been my pleasure to meet. Still guessing? Well, here's the Pleasure Pirates to introduce their island personally. Next morning found us at Pigeon Point, one of the most famous sites on Tobago, and with good reason. The beach is straight out of Swiss Family Robinson. Not surprising as the movie was shot locally. It's a place where people come to meet and talk in the way only possible in the Caribbean. We have come to enjoy the diving. There are a wide variety of dive schools to choose from, both PADI and SSI, and today Chris and I are enjoying the hospitality of Wild Turtle Dive. Joining us is Thomas, a friend we met at the Toucan last night, and as he is not qualified, he will be taking a resort dive, which involves a crash course in the principles behind diving, the safety aspects, and then a practice in shallow water to make sure he is comfortable before venturing further out to the reef. First rule of video, keep hold of your tripod.
Well done, men!
Diving here is very inexpensive, around £30 a person including all necessary equipment, and discounts are given on multiple dives. Resort dives are dearer as training is compulsory, even if you've done a resort dive before. Thomas and the dive master are now putting into practice the classroom lessons of clearing the mask underwater, regaining the regulator, and other techniques necessary for a safe dive. And once these are completed, we commence our journey around the coral reef. Tobago boasts several waterfalls, and the Argyle is the most accessible. The guide is mandatory and the tour costs 15 TT dollars, or around £4. Along the 15-minute walk to the falls themselves, our guide points out the diverse flora and the many medicinal remedies that have been discovered using plants. There are around 200 different bird species on the island, and we were lucky enough to film quite a few. The falls have a lovely bathing area on its lower levels, and many people come for a dip. But the more adventurous make a short, steep climb to the second level and actually bathe under the falls. Meet Harris MacDonald, part-time lifeguard, masseurs, and nature guide par excellence. This is his van, and today, along with Rosie from England, Carol from America, and Jürgen from Germany, we are going on an island tour, rainforest walk, snorkel expedition, and glass-bottom boat trip to Little Tobago, all in one day. The islands of Tobago and Trinidad, he explained, are the southernmost islands in the Caribbean chain, only 7 miles from the Venezuelan coast, and that the central spine of hills we were now travelling rise to 1,800 feet. From our vantage point, Harris gives us our bearings.
At the southern end of the island, all the way down to the Baco Reef, and you look up north, you're looking into Castara Bay.
And so we continued our journey, passing communal bread ovens, workers having a cookout at the end of their job, and at last arriving at Englishman's Bay for a rest and some of Harris's cakes. After a brief nature lesson on the shore, we gave our remaining crumbs to an enterprising motmot and watched a mockingbird eating from a broken coconut. Then Harris explained our route on the map.
Plymouth, just around here, Great Colin Bay, Mansfield area, we picked you up.
Yes.
We continue along this road, stop at Mundellin, we stop at Castara, look at the Elven.
Yes.
We're at Englishman's Bay now.
Yes.
We will continue our journey here through Palatus here, and we're going to come to the junction here at Bloody Bay Junction.
Soon we were in the rainforest proper, and immediately see a rare mannequin and an even more elusive hummingbird.
It's a hummingbird, but that's the rare species of hummingbird. Only you find it in the forest of Tobago. It's called a white-tailed sitwing. You stay quiet, and you're going to see the whites when it moves off. It's the biggest species of hummingbird also.
How many times do I wish I had a bigger zoom on my video camera? I can honestly say that I have never seen more life in a Caribbean rainforest before. And the leaf-cutting ants, marching relentlessly to top up their enormous nest by the side of the trail, only added to our delight. But then Harris showed us a trick of survival.
I'll just make a little hole here. They are high in carotene, so they can be edible as well.
But do they sting?
No, they don't sting, but they're very nutritious. You see? They have no bones. So it's the best way if you get lost in the forest and you meet a termite nest, this is what you do.
Oh no! It's good, huh?
They taste like carrots.
Rainforest walk now completed, we take the opportunity to rest our legs as we wait for Harris to collect his van. And then it's on to Baco Bay, Goat Island and Little Tobago. Goat Island is famous for being the home for many years of Ian Fleming of James Bond fame, and it's easy to see why he loved it here. We are taken on the journey by the Fear Not glass-bottom boat, and with the waves making quite large movements, it was well named. We are again instructed on the native wildlife, before stopping off at the only building on the island to look at bird identification charts. No one lives here, and special permission is needed to make an overnight stay. And this is what we've come to see. Hundreds of nesting red-billed tropic birds. For many years, Little Tobago has been one of the most important seabird sanctuaries, and regular trips are made by famous ornithologists to study the seabirds here. In fact, no less than David Attenborough had recently been here filming these wonderful creatures for his series The Life of Birds. From October to June, you can view these wonderful aerial acrobatics performed by small groups seeking suitable mates before settling down to nesting sites. Time to return to the mainland, and all that watching has given us an appetite. So afternoon tea is to be at Gemma's Kitchen, a unique restaurant built into a tree, and the cuisine is some of the finest on the island. You'll find nothing fancy here, just delicious Tobagonian home cooking, including a marvellous baked chicken cooked by the girls and Gemma herself. Probably the most convivial of all the beaches on Tobago is Castara Bay, where the glass-bottom boats leave for Baco Reef. The beach is little more than a sandy cove, but worth a visit for the food alone. 6 food stands operated by local ladies feature roti, which is an East Indian sandwich, pilaw, which is rice and peas, and messy but marvellous crab and dumplings, a local delicacy. Our boat today is the Sun Fun, and along with a charming group of young girls, we set off for an exciting day of fish watching, snorkeling, and lunch on a deserted island. Baco Reef is ideal for our visit, as in places the reef is only a few feet deep and the fish quite large. Time for lunch on the island. A generous helping of freshly cooked meat and rice to the strains of reggae music, which leads to an impromptu limbo competition. Jet skis can be hired on the island, and it's great fun skimming around the lagoon, even at my age. And so a perfect day ends with a slow journey home, more rum punch, pleasant music, and delightful company. As with most islands, Tobago is more accessible by sea, and today we are going with Kalina Cats for a sail along the north coast. Rich in history and beauty, we are going to visit Castara Bay, where smugglers and pirates once ruled supreme. Kalina Cats allow plenty of time for swimming and snorkeling before we have to come back on board to enjoy a delicious, freshly cooked complimentary meal. Then we set off once more along the scenic coastline to our next destination. And our verdict on Tobago? Well, I could tell you of our trip around the island in our rental Jeep. Of our visit to the Kimi Art Museum. The fort so steeped in history. The wonderful people that make this island so perfect. Feeding time at the bird sanctuary. And bird watching on the marshes with Adolphus. But suffice it to say that we don't want to go home.